Welcome to another patio review. Love Them Knives channel. And we got a Harnds knife. Harnds knife and tool, what it used to say at least. Now, handy for life, hardy for survival. And they said they put the handy and the hardy together and came up with Harnds. If you read their stuff right here. So, interesting. Their knives are pretty good, and I'm surprised, but you know, the Talisman was the one I did several years ago. OS 8, really great action on it and all that. But now, the Wolverine and the Assassin, the Beak, the Wind, the Warrior, the Blazer, it's just on and on. So they've got a lot of different designs out there. And right here, 14C28N, look at the nice little surround on the pivot. This was a whopping $37, something like that. I got on White Mountain because he had a whole bunch of different models in. And you find them on Amazon as well. But be careful because it may be a few dollars less on Amazon, but use the LTK discount code. That'll probably even it up. And on Amazon, then all of a sudden, I'm having to pay, all that sales tax. And then shipping, depending on, if you're a Prime member or something. But I am a Prime member, so I don't have to pay shipping. But, it depends. If it's a third party, I do. So, yeah, but I got to pay sales tax. So, check it out. I shop around a little bit. I don't always assume Amazon's cheaper. So, yeah, White Mountain, check it out. Very inexpensive. Pocket clip, right hand, tip up only. You got a lanyard hold that's tubed with that back spacer. And yeah, a nice surround there. Nice machined pivot. Hardware's nothing to brag about, but it's got that G10 that's mixed colors and it's contoured. So when they machine that, it exposes different layers in there, which means you get one of these and it may not be quite the exact same mix of colors on the scale. Contoured though, nice. Not heavy. It's Sandvik steel, so that's nice. Got a thumb ramp here. And a blade that looks pretty usable. Let's see if it'll cut anything. Okay. Yeah, it's sharp. Let's get a weight on it. 108 grams. That's not terribly heavy. 3.8 ounces. Okay. Not bad at all. See what we got for girth here. And it's 0.58, 14.9. So that's a handful there. Blade stock, 3.2 millimeters, 3.1, somewhere in there. Yeah, let's move up in here. Yeah, 3.1, 0.12. It's interesting design, isn't it? I think this might be something that a lot of people are really attracted to, and then others are not. So, but it's unique. And it's 3.5-inch blade, 8 inches overall length, 20.5 centimeters, and that's a 90 millimeter length there. And that's at least 87 cutting length on that. So, nice flat grind. Should be really nice to slice and cut with. I can see this is a steak knife or just an all-purpose nice cutting knife. Look at that choil there. And you've got a flipper tab here. Well, here's your lockup, by the way. And let's take another strike at it and look. And not overwhelming, is it? If we got 15 to 18% in there, that's all we got. No lock, rock, or blade play. And like I said, thumb ramp here with jimping for traction on there. So the ergos, they do, it's not neutral. So you're stuck, having to conform. For me, I can get 2 fingers in here, 1 in here, and 1 up here. So I'm good. If you had a little bit smaller hand, I think you'd be good. If you had a bigger hand, I think you're going to start hitting bumps. You're going to start, this finger here is going to be right there. So maybe not as good. Reverse grip is actually pretty comfortable. And thumb right there, yeah, that feels pretty respectable. The pocket clip is nice, and they've machined it into the scale here. This is not real springy, but it goes in and out of the pocket the way that's designed. So I haven't had any issues with that. Nice action on it. detent. I think the detent's appropriate on this. Okay, finally. So it's not letting go very easily. Oh, tried to fail it. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I can fail it, but I would say it's around a 5. Around a 5. 4.7, somewhere in there on my detent scale. And you know, it's just right. Here's a flipper tab, jimping on that. You got kind of this little dip in here. You can get to that, and it's pretty intuitive. Where's my balance on here? Back here, kind of in the back of that choil area there. There's my balance. Let's take a look at our length of blade to handle. And really, no, I wouldn't have put any more blade on there then. I can touch right there, and if I push, I can still touch that. So we got all we need to put in there, and the design flows really well. It's good. And we tested the Assassin, not this one, but I have one inside that has no pocket clip. It was an earlier one. And yes, it's real 14C28N, and it was a 61 HRC, okay? And then this brute, the Warrior, is real D2, and it was a 60.3. And then my buddy that's doing the testing, Rolf, he tested his own. He got the Wind, the one called the Wind. It's a small gent one, and that's 14C28N, and that was a 61. So we've tested 2 or 3 of the Sandvik. They're 61. The D2 here, it's real, and it was over 60. So they've tested well as far as hardness. You know, can't tell you how they did everything else with the treating, tempering, quenching, you know, so I don't know the overall performance level that you would see from these, but it's a user steel. You know, you just strop it back to sharp when you use it a few days here or there. Sit down and just give it some passes with the compound on the leather strop or whatever, and you can bring it back. So it's a user steel. It's a budget knife, and I think it's good for the money. I think it's really good for the money. So it gives you an alternative to Ganzo, who have gone right off into the D2 land, and so has Bestech, and so has, you know, a lot of the Civivi as well. And so if you want to get away from some of that, this gives you an alternative. And then you have Rake, Real Steel, SRM, some of those as well that do not necessarily have D2 blades. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at this. Let's see if we can pull it apart. See what we got inside. Well, we got that out. Well, we got a middle screw on both sides, won't give up the ghost. So we just bypassed it and took everything out regardless. Here's what the bearings look like. They're ceramic bearings. And we have a one-piece D-shaped pivot. There's our stop and our other screws. Looks like we're back together. We're centered. You, buddy. Yeah, every once in a while, you catch a bitch. And we caught one on this one. This is the only Harnds knife I've had that kind of problem with. But it's all possible when you get into people who get a little overzealous when they tighten these screws up and put them together. And needless to say, this hardware is nothing to write home about. So, yeah, it's possible. Got it apart, got it together. We're all good to go. Ceramic bearings, D-shaped pivot, contoured G10. All right. Thank you so much. You know we do. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.